what risk are you willing to take to get what you want? When I decided I was going to become a motivational speaker, there were people who thought it was impossible for me to become a keynote speaker, from a doorman carrying bag to the big stage in front of thousands of people. I'm asking you to look at your business processes, the things that you do now, and to realize that how much change is happening in your industry. What will you do? Will you stay there rehearsing the past, the way things used to be? Or will you make a conscious decision to focus on the future? You see, most people focus on what they're going through. See, I focus on what I'm going to. Ladies and gentlemen, opportunities are everywhere in this country, but only to those who are willing to go an extra mile. Do you know why people think or know that it is impossible for you? Because it is impossible for them, and they automatically assume it's impossible for you. When I was a little boy, I learned a powerful metaphor from a man named Raphael. Raphael told me about the bees and the rattlesnakes. He told me that the bees, when they're out, they're always looking for something that is sweet, honey. And it uses the honey, the nectar to create honey. It's good, it's got all the essential vitamins. But the rattlesnakes, when it's out, it's always looking for something that is bitter to create the poison in its tail. Unfortunately, so many of us in our society, we are just like the rattlesnakes. We want to find everything that is bitter. And we take the bitterness and we go to the workplace, and we go to churches, we go to different places of gathering, we begin to inject our poison and destroy people's dreams. A lot of people do that. But the bee is a different story. The bee meets you, doesn't even know you, and the bee already finds all your strengths. The bee is a leader that will reach inside of you and find the best and then magnify it in front of your face. But the rattlesnake will do different. They'll meet you in 5 minutes. They don't even know you. Say, child, please, I don't even like him. I don't even like her. I don't know why I don't like you. Maybe you look like an ex-husband or something. And so how do you deal with the rattlesnake around you? Very simple. Pour honey on the rattlesnake. Find the best inside that rattlesnake, and then bring it out, no matter what they say about you. I remember I was dealing with a guy the guy was just like a big rattlesnake, and he was around to destroy me internally. He said some hurtful things to destroy me, but all I did, I kept going around. Every time they mentioned something about him, I would say something nice. I'd put some honey there. Every time I see him, I just shake his hand. How are you? Great to see you. I love your shirt. I love the great things you do, and great family. I keep pouring honey onto that rattlesnake until eventually, slowly, he began to evolve as a bee. The journey that took me from poverty, diseases and all, to bring me to be on this stage in front of you today is full of lessons. There are five fundamental principles, 5 lessons that I distilled from that journey, and I share with my audiences all across the country. I'm going to share those 5 fundamental principles with you. The first one is to stop rehearsing the past. Ladies and gentlemen, things are changing. You can cry about it, or you can decide to accept it and move on. The second one is to always go an extra mile. This is the soul of my message. This is what this whole weekend, this whole week is about, is that 1 extra degree. Always go an extra mile. And the third one is to decide and act. Too many people are pregnant with ideas, but they don't take enough action. The fourth one, it's a process. It is not an event. People are looking for a microwave world. They're looking for things to be rosy and wonderful every single day, but not knowing that there are some thorns among the roses. It's a process. And the last one is to have a bee attitude, a honey bee. Basically, this one is everything that you have, you'll ever have. Your clients have to give it to you. You have to be nice to people. You have to learn how to focus on the best things out of life, the sweetness. You are watching television. There's not much to see. The remote control is in your hand. You click, 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 boring television until you came to this one channel where they are showing the starving children in Africa.
Whether you're a businessman or a student or an individual employee, if you've got circumstances that you think are tough, you're not going to believe Rene's story. Growing up as a young child in Haiti, coming to the United States underneath a truck, this man's story is amazing, and we have him on In-Depth.
He's starving, he is crying, and sure enough, you are not sure he will make it.
He's called the village hero.
I was born in a little village in Haiti, very primitive. We had no running water, no electricity, and we didn't have any plumbing and no access to medical care. Life was really, really, really tough.
Although I have never been on one of those commercials before, and I've never met Sally Struthers before. But when I was a little boy, I was just as deprived as the one you saw on your television. Today, I am the luckiest man alive because I am living in the United States of America. The land of which I'm so grateful for and so many take for granted. The land of opportunity. When one door closes in America, there's always another door. You're talking about doors of opportunity in this country. I looked at my village, there's no door.
Now when you came from Haiti, you came with very little, didn't you, Rene?
Very little. $5. I had a tiny suitcase. To this day, I travel across the country with my little suitcase. I have my most precious belonging. It's in it. Is the flag of this country, which, you know, for years before 9/11, I was traveling around showing it to people. And 2 shirts and 1 pair of pants.
I came to America in 1983, and I came with $5, 2 shirts. I didn't speak any English. English was very confusing for me. Believe it or not, the first 2 words I learned were same thing. And then I don't believe in reinventing success. I believe in modeling success. You know what I did? I began to use those 2 words to the max. I'd go to McDonald's 24 years ago. They didn't have number 1 and number 2. I would stand behind the person in front of me. When they say, "May I take your order?" Guess what I said? I got to try a lot of same thing I didn't like. I was 110 pounds when I came to America. And so I began to use same thing to the max. I would go to, I remember I went to a club by the name of Big Daddy's in Miami. I don't know how many of you are familiar. Anybody from Miami? Here, raise your hands. Miami? Okay, wait. You might remember Big Daddy's, right? Have I seen you there before? No? No, I haven't? Okay. But I went to Big Daddy's. They were serving drinks. I didn't know all the name of the drinks. I didn't know the name. And I remember I was sitting there and the lady came and she asked me what would I like to drink. I had a guy sitting next to me and the guy just ordered. I said, same thing. Then she threw me a curveball. She asked me this. She said, how would you like your drink, sir? On the rocks? I'm thinking. I said, please put mine in a cup. We don't drink on the rocks in my country. And so I left Miami. I was there learning how to speak English. I would write 3 words in my hand every day. At the end of the week, I would review my words. And I came to Atlanta. I got a job. I was a doorman at the the Renaissance Waverly Hotel. Back then it was the Stouffer, and then later on they changed it to the Renaissance Waverly Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to pay real close attention to what I'm about to say. I saw many of you at the hotel. I greeted you. I carried your bags, and some of you might remember me. Anybody here remember me? I remember Oz and a few people. That's right. That I remember seeing at the hotel. I was, just carrying the bags. I had this big smile and this great attitude, but I was not was a doorman with a dream. I remember when I met Mr. Lance Osborne, and I was standing right by the podium. I just finished unloading his bags, and I told him, sir, I'm a speaker, sir. I want to be a speaker one day. I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to travel the country. And he was such a king bee. And when Lance saw me saying this to him, he saw the fire in my eyes, in my belly. And he came, he did something that I shall never forget. He touched me. Ladies and gentlemen, you will never understand the power of a touch. Now, I know there is sexual harassment and all kinds of things. You can't touch the people at work. But what if you touch them emotionally? What if you just said something that really make them feel good inside? Lance told me, he told me that you're going to make it. You're going to be a speaker. Yes, I believe it. I can see it in your eyes. And that day he gave me his card. And I took the card. I really believed him. You know, you never know what you tell to somebody in your field as a trainer, as a state sales coordinator, or regional or district. You never know what you might say to somebody, and they will believe you and take the ball and run with it. The phone rang one day. The voice said, "This is Lance Osborne." I said, "Mr. Osborne? This is you?" I said, "Sir, for over 10 years I waited for your call." I said, "Hold on, sir, let me prove it to you." I pulled his business card. I started reading his business card to him. I said, "Your name is J. Lance Osborne. Your title is Regional Sales Coordinator." He said, "You are right about my name, but everything else is wrong." "How come, sir?" He said, "Now I'm vice president of the company." When Aflac would come to have your big conference, I would wait at 11 o'clock when I get off, when they prepare the room for the speaker. What I used to do, I used to come on stage. I'd rehearse this moment that I'm standing in front of you. That's the power of a dream. You know, I didn't know how to dress when I came to America. I didn't own a suit. But at the door, I began to watch the people how they dress. To this day, I don't know what this little handkerchief, I don't know what it means, but hey, you see?
But how did you know which books to read?
You know how I learned which books to read? When I was parking your cars, and I'd see you have those tapes in the back seat of your car. I was a doorman. I was not a dumb man. I believe sometimes you ought to fake it until you make it. They say you become what you think, and I say you become what you fake. And people say, "Well, that's unethical." No, it's not unethical. It's even biblical. It says when you pray, believe and act as if you already receive it. Maybe today is the day you begin acting as if you already have it. And then step out with full force. Take a risk. I challenge you to go back and see all the opportunities that you in this room have created. And begin to inspire your team to really see them. And to be a bee, and to encourage them to take advantage of each and every single one of those opportunities. There is money. There are a lot of millionaires in this room, and there are a lot more millionaires that are about to be created. Will you be someone from your team? I am glad, ladies and gentlemen, I'm an American. I have opportunities. I can take advantage of them. At least I know I'm free. I know I'm free. I'm free. I'm free. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.